Good evening. I call the November 5th, 2025 Apple Valley Planning Commission meeting to order. The first item of business is the approval of the agenda. Are there any changes from staff?
Madam Chair, members of the commission, good evening. We have no changes for you at this time.
And from the commissioners?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Schindler and seconded by Commissioner Scanlon. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose, nay. Motion carries. The next item of business is the approval of the consent agenda. The consent agenda items are considered routine and will be enacted with a single motion without discussion unless a commissioner or a citizen requests to have any item separately considered. It will then be moved to the regular agenda for consideration. Can I have a approval?
So moved.
Second.
Made by Commissioner Scanlon and seconded by Commissioner Halas. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. That brings us to the public hearing for tonight. And that is Carter Hayes will be the planner. We will now open the public hearing for agenda item 4A. The affidavit of publication for the notice of public hearing is available for inspection in the planning department. Everyone wishing to speak at this public hearing should be sure to fill out the attendance roster. Include your name and address so that accurate records can be maintained. We will begin the procedure with a brief presentation by city staff, followed by a presentation by the petitioner of the hearing. Upon the conclusion of the presentation, city staff will be asked to comment on the proposal's conformance with pertinent regulations and policies. After that, comments will be taken from the general public. Carter.
Good evening, everybody. It's been a while. Good to be back. So tonight we have a public hearing on the requested text amendment of PD 290-4 to exempt cannabis retailers from the prescribed buffers in section 155-320. Planning Commission will open the public hearing, receive comments, and close the public hearing. It is a policy not to take action on item the same night. However, we have prepared some options for the Planning Commission to consider that will be at the end of the presentation. So some background on the city cannabis regulations. These were adopted on October 24th, 2024. Within these regulations, it also designates buffer requirements, which is a separation from protected uses. So this is 1,000 feet from schools and existing cannabis businesses, 500 feet from parks, daycares, and residential treatment facilities. Some background on the PD. This district is intended for limited business and community scale retail. The current uses include restaurants, retail shops, and personal services, such as a hair salon. So the location of the PD, as you can see, it's generally located on the northeast corner of 150th and Cedar Avenue. The specific zone in question is on 147th Street in that crosshatched area. A red pin also denotes the proposed business location of the cannabis business in connection to the amendment request. So about the request, the applicant currently operates a tobacco store in the PD district. This PD district would otherwise allow cannabis retail but is ineligible due to those protected use buffers. The applicant is preliminarily approved with the Office of Cannabis Management for a micro business with retail endorsement. And they are asking for an exemption from the buffer requirements within PD 290 Zone 4. So more on these buffer requirements, as you can see listed on the screen, those are the buffers and the distances corresponding with those. You can see the proposed business location pin there in the crosshatched area. It does fall into the daycare buffer as well as the school buffer, because it's important to note that these buffer distances are measured parcel line to parcel line. So if it is within the parcel, it would be ineligible for a cannabis business. So some amendment considerations. If approved, the exemption will apply to all properties in Zone 4. So that would be the multi-tenant retail buildings, as well as the Applebee's restaurant. Cannabis retailers would otherwise be able to operate within the buffer distances. So once again, actions requested is open the public hearing, receive comments, and close the public hearing. The options we have prepared, if the planning commission finds that sufficient information has been presented at the public hearing and has fulfilled its purpose, the first option we have is amend PD 290-4 to exempt cannabis retailers from buffer requirements. And the second option is do not amend PD 290-4 to exempt cannabis retailers from buffer requirements. We have the corresponding recommended motion language underneath those. As for staff recommendation, we are recommending denial of the text amendment request, as approval would conflict with the purpose of section 155.320, introduce zoning inconsistencies and compromise protections for nearby protected uses, while denial of the request maintains consistency with the adopted regulations. The applicant was not able to make the meeting tonight, but within your packets is the provided personal statement / narrative that the applicant had written as part of the application. With that, I will turn it over to the Planning Commission to continue the public hearing.
Thank you, Carter. Anyone wishing to? Did you press something?
I did. It didn't light up, though.
Did our new ones not work? Okay, mine still isn't lit
Oh,
up.
there
There
you
we go. Commissioner Halas?
Okay, still didn't light up. Thank you for the presentation. Clarify for me, right to the north of the proposed site, there is a daycare there. It's pretty close, isn't it? Right there, at Cedar Avenue, isn't
Yeah,
that?
we don't have, so yeah, this orange buffer here denotes that 500-foot buffer from the daycare. We don't have the specific parcel line,
Yeah.
but roughly in the middle somewhere, I believe it might be this parcel here, is that daycare in question.
And then off 147th, a couple blocks in, there's a school on the south side of 147th Street.
Correct,
Also-
that this yellow buffer here is the school buffer, in which I believe that would be this building here, that is the host parcel of the school.
Right. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Commissioner Schindler?
Madam Chair. Carter, is this a location that the applicant, is the applicant, this is the best they could find in Apple Valley to,
So this is a location that the applicant currently occupies as a tobacco store. They have received, they are preliminarily approved, which means at this stage they are now looking for a site that would comply with the zoning requirements of the local municipality. And that is the generation of this request stems from that.
have they looked at other areas in Apple Valley that aren't located within?
I do not believe so. The only inquiry we have had from this individual is for this site.
Thank you.
Carter, it's under my impression that he recently just opened up this tobacco place?
Yeah, yep, correct. It was within the last handful of years. I do not know a specific year, but it is within the last handful of years.
And he was under the assumption that he'd be able to sell cannabis also there?
Potentially. I do know there's a state, the Office of Cannabis Management does not allow co-location. I don't know if that was known by the applicant at the time, but it is a requirement of OCM now that you can't have a cannabis business and a tobacco business in the same location.
Correct. Out of curiosity, would the leaser, am I saying that right? Wouldn't he be the one to tell him that he wouldn't be able to do both at the time of signing a lease?
I don't know if that was, I don't know what their dialogue was at the time of when they signed the lease per se, but I imagine those discussions might have occurred. I can't really speak to it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Guess not. I'll go ahead with the, if there are any audience members who would like to approach with questions, please come to the podium to speak and address all comments and questions to the chair. And at this time, there is no one here, so I will close the public hearing. If there are no further comments, I will close this public hearing. It is the policy of the Planning Commission not to act on an item on the same night as its public hearing. The Planning Commission will weigh all comments and information received tonight in its deliberations at future meetings. This item will continue to appear on future Planning Commission agendas until a recommendation on the petition can be forwarded to City Council. However, I would say that we would probably make a recommendation tonight, meaning that there is no one for the public hearing or the applicant. So if anybody would like to discuss this prior or make a motion or recommendation.
Can I just confirm of the two choices, the first one is to allow the amendment to go forward and make the changes that would allow the cannabis in the location as specified, correct?
Yep, so the first option would be to exempt those cannabis retailers from the buffer requirements, whereas the second option would be to not exempt those or recommend denial.
Retain the
Yep, it would,
ordinance as it's,
current regulations, correct.
thank you. Madam Chair, I recommend denial of the draft ordinance amending Chapter 155, Appendix F, adding Section A2-5C to exempt cannabis retailers in Zone 4 of this planned development from the special use setback buffers in Section 155.320.
I would second.
Okay, the motion was made by Commissioner Scanlon, seconded by Commissioner Halas. Any discussion for anyone? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you. That brings us to land use, which there are nothing to discuss tonight, so we'll go to other business, and that would be Tim Benetti.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a reminder, 2 weeks from now, we will have our meeting, regular scheduled meeting for November 19th. We do have an item, I believe, scheduled for that night as well, another public hearing. We hope to have you all here, and also followed by the meeting on December 3rd. Our council meetings of November 13th and 25th are shown on your agenda as well. And if you have any questions on what transpired tonight, afterwards, happy to stick around. Otherwise, have a good evening.
Thank you, Tim. You too. Can I get
We adjourn?
Second?
a motion to adjourn was made by Commissioner Schindler and seconded by Commissioner Scanlon. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting is adjourned.